Did you know that the longest gaming session is about 138 hours, set in 2015 on the game Just Dance? You're listening to the Xbox Hub Podcast, the official podcast of the TheXboxHub.com. For all the latest Xbox news, reviews, videos, and opinions, make sure you visit the TheXboxHub.com. But for now, settle down, get comfy, and open your ears for some podcast delights. Hello, welcome to the Xbox Hub Official Podcast, episode 132. My name's Gareth Briley. I'm going to be your host. And on my virtual left is Mr. Paul Renshaw. How you doing, Paul?
I wasn't expecting you to come to me first. I'm normally second fiddle on this podcast, but I'm very well, Gareth. Thank you very much.
Good.
I do wonder why it sounded like you were about to laugh when you said what your name was. Was it a surprise?
I think I sounded a bit depressed when I went 1, 3, 2. Made me laugh.
1, 3, 2. Okay, Marvin.
It's been a lot of these. And on my virtual right is Mr. Darren Edwards. How you doing, Darren?
Hello, I'm very well, thank you. It's nice to be back after our hiatus last week.
Yes, we're my holiday. I was on holiday, wasn't I? Yeah, it's great.
You were.
Seems like a lifetime ago. Now, what have we been doing this week, you two? Paul, what have you been up to?
I have been mainly failing to cope with the heat. I'm not a creature of hot climes. So when I went upstairs on Tuesday to bed and the thermometer in the bedroom said 33 degrees, it was just like, it was torture. It wasn't good. I put the fan on and that then proceeded to blow air at 33 degrees into my face. So, yeah, I've not enjoyed it at all. I'm very happy that now it's cooling down.
So in the UK, we had a heat wave for 2 days. It went up to 39 or 40 degrees. So in case
the new record was 40.3 from a previous record of 38.7. Because James isn't here, I'm going to do the stats.
I was going to say, you've done your research this week.
I wanted to know just how much I was going to die. So, you get out of the aircon in the car and it just punches you in the face. It was awful.
There's a great headline that I think the Sun ran. The Sun were like, 40 degrees, we're the best. We're better than the Sahara. It was like a celebration, like we'd won something.
Sounds about right.
Oh, my word. And the next day it was everything's on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw that down your neck of the woods.
Yeah, man.
What was it? 41 houses burned down or something. Yeah.
It's barbecue.
Good grief. Yeah, that's what barbecue. It was. Yeah. I mean, that's that you go to some extent to get a sausage if you're going to burn your entire house down.
Yes. So that's our week of heat and everything else. What about you, Dan?
Yeah, very similar. Thankfully, work has fantastic aircon, which held out. So you would never know it was happening when I was in work. And then, as Paul said, as soon as you step outside, it's like getting off a plane in a tropical country. You just get smacked in the face by the heat. So yeah, we're not used to it. We went from one day of, oh, it's summer, everyone relax, enjoy it, to everywhere's on fire, panic. So it was a bit of a wake-up call. But other than that, I'm watching Westworld, which kind of snuck out of Series 4. I think a lot of people have given up with it, but I'm still enjoying it. They've tried to take it back to its roots a little bit, so that's on Now TV at the moment. There's been 4 of them. So if you're a fan and you're looking for something to watch, it's worth picking up. And then we went to see the 4th Thor film as well last week, which I really enjoyed, but it's been picking up quite a bit of flack online. And apparently box office figures have dropped off a cliff this week since its opening week. But I thought it was good fun. It was straightforward, one for the kids probably, but I enjoyed it.
I think there's just a bit of fatigue with the Marvel stuff. I think it I think maybe that's what it is. But it's still making a lot of money.
Yeah, well, this is it. I don't know how Thor will finish. This might be the first time it's taken a bit of a battering, as you say, because of fatigue. But the pandemic, that kind of break they had, I don't think that was necessarily a bad thing. They could do with thinking about resting it more often, I think, because you're right, because now there's stuff on Disney Plus as well, and there's films. There's a lot. They are making a lot of content.
Absolutely. And Paul, what have you been watching? You watched something, have you?
I have been watching something, and I'm quite looking forward to it. I have been watching on the Netflix the new Resident Evil TV series, or the Netflix series, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved watching all of the episodes and seeing the little nods to the games throughout it. You know, there's one bit where she's trapped in a room, this heroine, and as the camera pans back, there's a clapped out old typewriter on the desk behind her. And it's just like, that's from the game. And then there was another bit where she was stuck in the cell, and the guy she was with turned to her and said, "Just call me the master of unlocking." And I was like, that's from the game as well. So I thought it was very good. So yes, I understand that certain people in the review team have been a bit sniffy about it, shall we say. But, you know, given a choice of that and Thor 4, I think I would definitely prefer Resident Evil.
Darren, would you like to counter this? What was your impressions of it?
Well, in the spirit of full disclosure, I only watched one episode. So Ryan,
you can't talk. Get out.
I'm also representing James's point of view as well today. I found it really boring, to be honest. Ryan's watched all of it, and he said he enjoyed it until about 5 or 6, and then he just said it lost the plot for him. I think I was put off with it. Just was kind of a bit of a Wesker family drama with sort of the odd hint to the game thrown in there just to keep people interested. I didn't take to it. I should probably watch the rest of it to give it a fair hearing, but I just have no desire to. And they're long episodes; they're an hour each, aren't they? As well.
Yeah, they are an hour each, and that's why it's so good. You definitely should watch it, because the whole kind of Wesker thing, it turns very interesting, and it's got the fella who does the voice for Zavala in it from Destiny. So I mean, what more could you want?
Yeah, because it's set after the games, isn't it? That's right.
Yeah, it's set the first Raccoon City. You know, at the end of the first game. Spoiler alert if you've not played it, where they blow the whole city up with a nuclear bomb, don't they? Or is that the end of the second game?
Oh, that's Resi 2. No, that's Resi 3.
Is it? Well, whichever one where they destroy the city with a bomb.
Yeah.
This is after that. They've built a new Raccoon City.
Oh, and seems risky.
Wesker's, you wouldn't call it Raccoon City, would you? And you certainly wouldn't base Umbrella there. But anyway.
That's called the ship, the Titanic too.
Yes, going into the frozen waters. But yeah, I thought it was very good. I mean, I can understand what Ryan's saying. At about the 6th episode or something, it did start to get a bit weird. But stick with it, and it's good. I enjoyed it.
I should give it a fair hearing. I mean,
you should give it a
didn't
try.
like the films, so I'm quite biased in favour of the games.
How can you not like the film with Mila Jovovich in?
The first one's okay, but then the rest are just garbage.
She is a mighty fine actress, is old Miller.
I'm not going to ask you why.
I'm not going to.
That's not the reason.
I don't.
I think she's very good at the action sequences. Matron.
I don't think you persuaded me either way. I don't know what to do. I don't know.
Well, I think you should watch it and make your own mind up and report back, Gareth.
That's a fair shout.
Okay, we'll do that. What have I been watching? I'm watching an Amazon TV series called The Underground Railroad, based on a book.
It's easy for you to say.
I know. Directed by a brilliant director called Barry Jenkins, and it's set in sort of mid-19th century, and it's quite a serious drama, but it's set in this in the plantations, and it follows 2 slaves who escape, and they escape through this underground railroad, which is this sort of set up to get slaves away from those states and then go to the base. It's a 10-part series. I think I've already watched about 6 of it. It's brilliant TV. It's one of those things that's won everything, but no one's seen it. I think because it's such a hard subject. But they do it brilliantly. It's so well directed. It's so well acted as well. It's quite different and quite odd and strange. But I'd recommend anyone to watch it. It's really, I'm really enjoying it.
That sounds good. It reminds me of a book we studied at, I think, in GCSE called Undergrounds in Canada, which is about the same network that tries to help slaves escape from plantations and stuff back in the day.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Oh, good. Okay.
Are there any zombies in it?
There's no zombies. Jesus, Paul. Let's get on to games. Games. What were you playing? Let's start with Paul.
Let's start with me. I will talk first of all about the first expansion to Forza Horizon 5 that's finally arrived, the Hot Wheels expansion. And it's fast, it's furious, it's set 50, I think she said it was 50 miles above Mexico, which you can certainly believe looking at the verticality of the tracks. It's brought a whole slew of new content, new cars, about 10 million new achievements, and it's more of Forza Horizon 5, which is always a good thing. However, it's not quite as slam dunk as the original game. There are a few little niggles with it that I'm finding, but other than that, I mean, the speed of the races that you get as you're screaming along at 200 mile an hour, you'll all of a sudden hit a booster part of the track and it will just fire you at ridiculous speeds. And, you know, you can do corkscrews and loop the loops and all sorts of things. It's very different to the regular kind of racing from Forza Horizon 5. Very spectacular, but not without its issues.
So it hasn't got the open world feel to it. You're just going from race to race, aren't you?
No, there is still. It's almost like a small version of the main game. You know how in the main game there was an achievement for driving along every single road in Mexico. There's a similar achievement for this. You can just get in your car and drive off and go and do whatever you want. And you have to do. So this is probably where I'm going to lose you, Gareth. You do have to do almost tests to move up the tiers. So you start off with B-class cars and then you have to pass a test and you can drive A-class. You have to pass the test and you can drive S1 and stuff. They're not difficult. Even Gareth could pass them, Darren. You'll be fine.
Okay, that's
in his little blue car, he'd be fine.
He says this. I thrash him every time now at Forza. He's always behind me.
Do me a favour.
Neil will back me up on this. He's always complaining. He goes, he shouts out, "Someone's hit me." Oh,
yeah, it's you. Normally, if I get punted off the track, I'll just see the Lost Island going up past me in the queue, and it's just like, I wonder who crashed into me, Gareth. No, it wasn't me. Anyway, yes.
How much? No, it's not on Game Pass, is it? You have to pay
not.
For this.
If you have the premium edition of Forza Horizon 5, it's included in that. If you haven't and you want to buy it separately, I do believe that it is some pounds.
I think it's about 15 quid, I think.
It's definitely some pounds.
Yeah.
I honestly, I got the premium version, so I didn't have to buy it. I don't know what the retail value is. If only James was here with his lightning laptop fingers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not selling it to you, am I?
No, I think I
heard the word test.
I think we played a lot of Forza and a lot of value for Forza 5, but I think I'm at the end of my time with Forza 5. I think I got to it dragged a bit for me at the end because it's done well. What's it been? 7 months? It's been great. But I don't think personally I'm going to do any more DLC. But Darren
I can hear the worldwide Forza community breathing a sigh of relief.
But Darren, you're keen for this, aren't you?
I am, yeah. I bought the DLC when it was in sale for Forza Horizon 4, and I played Fortune Island, and I never got around to playing the Lego one. So I'm a bit dubious around buying it yet, because I just know I won't play it for probably until this time next year. But I enjoyed when I first got my Xbox One, they had Hot Wheels DLC for Forza Horizon 3. and I got that bundled in, and that was great fun. So if it's a patch on that, then it will be a good laugh. And I trust Paul's analysis that it's very, very fun.
Good. It's very, very fun and very, very fast. Honestly, there's little bits where they have magnetic track, and it'll do like a corkscrew, so almost like a barrel roll with the car stuck to the track. And they've put a little thing in the center of the screen that shows you what the roll angle of your car is, because it's so easy to get confused and not know which way is up and down. It's so fast. Yeah, very very enjoyable so far.
Good, thank you, Paul. Darren, what's your game?
So something couldn't be further from what Paul's just described. Very slow. Time on Frog Island, it's called. So I think the review went live a few days ago now. So you are a little captain of a tiny little ship or boat who gets shipwrecked on an island, and it's full of frog people, and you have to go around and trade items and explore and find the necessary materials to repair your little boat. So you'll need to find a mast, and you'll need to get hold of someone's canvas painting, much to his dismay, to then repair your mast. You've got other bits and bobs that you need to grab as you go around the island. And it's got a very gentle, slow kind of feel to it. It's very open. It is a nice, relaxing game, but it does start to run out of ideas quite quickly. So the island is quite small. There are a fair few inhabitants to interact with, and they'll all want something different. So you've got to try and piece together in what order you get item A to trade it for item B, which will get you item C, and so on and so on and so on. The thing that is really got going for it is it looks brilliant. Actually, it reminded me a lot of The Legend of Zelda: Wind Waker, which came out for the GameCube back in the day. That kind of cel shaded, remote island, relaxed kind of feel, very lush kind of environments. And there are slightly different parts of the island. So there's like snowy mountains, there's tropical beaches, dense woodland. But I don't know, after an hour or two, it started to get a little bit of a drag, if I'm being honest. The sheen kind of came off. And I think it was about £15 as well, so it's not cheap for what it is. So yeah, I think it's a very niche game, but there are other games out there that fill a lot more into the game, such as Animal Crossing, which do it better. So yeah, unfortunately, I think I gave it a 3 out of 5, I think, in the end. So yeah, I think not Fast and Furious like Forza Horizon, unfortunately.
Okay, it does look quite nice, but I can understand.
It does look, yeah.
I can. That makes sense. Okay, thank you, Darren. Now, a game I've got is a PlayStation game, and it's a game that came out on Tuesday, and it's Stray. And it's been a funny year this year, and it's going to get funnier because there isn't, I'm not giving out 1.5 this year. I'm giving out maybe 1.4.5, and normally by this point, definitely maybe 1.5 or quite a few 4.5 sort of reviews, and it hasn't been a vintage year. I think Elden Ring is sort of game of the year so far, completely, and has that wonder Elden Ring when you play it, just go, this is amazing. And I think
you get that Lego Star Wars as well.
Oh, you had that, didn't you? Yeah, not that.
Yeah, I like that.
Stray's done that for me. It's like, it kind of, you straight away. It's a kind of 5 to 6 hour game. You play as a cat in this kind of futuristic city that the humans have all gone. They've all disappeared. We don't know why at that moment. Robots run it, and you're sort of got a little pack of cats, and then you get separated, and it's about your kind of journey through. If you're a cat fan, it's a must. If you're not a cat fan, it's a must. Yeah, if you're not a cat fan, it's just amazing. You can just meow. You can slide up to people's legs if you want to. You can. There's a great way when you can just go up to carpets all the time and scratch all bits of sofas at some point, and you're pressing R2 and L2 to scratch the thing. We could just have a sleep as well, which is quite nice. Fine little moments. But it's a world that's amazing. It's so beautifully lit. Oh my god, it does. It looks like a this gen kind of game, even though it's on PS4 as well. But it just, the lighting is kind of like amazing. These kind of little atmospheres, little worlds. these little rooms and there's architecture and just it's really fluid. Yeah, it's a brilliant game. It's one of my games of the year, and for a kind of indie game, what it is essentially is amazing. Yeah, and it was nice just to play something and go wow again. You know, I haven't done that for a while. It's really gone wow, and that's something impressed me since Elden Ring probably. To be honest, so yeah, it's great. It's really good. So if you've got a PlayStation, definitely get it. I think it's about £24, or if you've got the PS Extra thing, it's free. It's downloadable.
Did I read it was coming to the Xbox at some stage?
It might do, yeah.
I thought I read that.
Could do.
I could be.
I might do in a couple of years.
It might have been on Twitter, so the chances of it being true are somewhat slim. But yeah, it does look superb. Yeah. I mean, I've been looking at that and going, yeah, that looks like a good game.
Yeah, I think I really like it.
Again, talking of the Twitter, it's full of people taking photographs of their cat, watching them playing. Right?
Yes, I've seen
it's
that.
Brilliant. It's just like this cat's going, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, I've seen dog pictures just following it around all the time as I'm looking at it. It's great. Good. Let's do one more game each. So pick one more each. Paul, what's your final game?
Well, I was tempted to go with My Friend Peppa Pig from Game Pass, which is surprisingly
Game of the Year
addictive. Yeah, it's certainly easy achievements of the year.
I see.
But, not that I'm in a race with anybody or anything. But I'm not going to talk about that. I will talk about a game called The Hand of Merlin. Now, I seem to have sort of sleepwalked into the role of TheXboxHub.com's tactical turn-based RPG reviewer of choice. So basically what we've got here is it's like a tactical RPG mixed with a roguelite. So it's roguelite, not roguelike genre. Basically, you start a run. You choose a team of 3 heroes, and then you wander across the world. You go to different, they call them nodes on the map, and each node can have a fight in it, or it could have somebody to interact with, or it could have a merchant or whatever. So you make your way across the world. It's all based on the Arthurian legends. So it's got Merlin in there, it's got King Arthur and everybody else, and it's really, really good. The storytelling is superb. The combat sequences are very good. I really, really enjoyed it. I think when I reviewed it, I gave it a 4.5. And I'm not normally a fan of a roguelite, but it works really well here. So, yeah, check it out if you like an RPG turn-based attack thing. Yeah, great.
Great.
Words have run out, I'm afraid. I'm at the end of my words.
Well, maybe we will. Maybe we'll do it. I'm not going to play this.
I think you should.
Darren, will you play this?
I would like to say I would, but realistically, I probably won't get time, and it'll sink way down the list.
Good. It does look good.
Sorry, Paul.
Excellent. Well, I'm glad that I'm here, able to change your minds, gentlemen.
Good.
All I can do is present you the information. What you choose to do with it after that point is up to you. But the phrase "pearls before swine" does bring to mind.
Darren, what have you got? What's your final go?
So my second game is Lumberjack. So it's like Lumberjack, but it's got bear, B-E-A-R in the middle. And you play as a bear, funnily enough, who's armed with an axe. So it's hard to describe, really. I guess it's a bit of an action-adventure game. Also, maybe a bit of a sim game. But basically, you and your woodland creatures, your friends, get together because the humans are ruining the landscape. So it's got quite a strong message already of environmental damage is bad and pollution is bad, to the point where the company are just called Evil. That's what they're called. That's the logo that all the people wear on their uniforms that work for this company, who are building flats and dumping sewage into rivers and doing all sorts of icky stuff. And you play as the titular bear who goes around with his axe and you just smash things that basically aren't natural, so are man-made. You smash them all, and then it cleans up the environment as you go. And then as it goes on, it introduces very simple puzzles. So you may have to get certain items off factory conveyor belts that are running through these valleys, or you may have to take down a crane by destroying its legs in a certain order. All these things. It's very basic, very, very kind of aimed at younger gamers, but it's really, really wholesome. It's got a nice message, and actually, for a couple of hours, it's actually quite fun. I wasn't sure what to make of it at first, and as I got into it, I really enjoyed it. And it's just hard. It's just difficult not to like it because it's got such a good message. And end of every level, the creatures are jumping up and down and cheering as they destroy the human buildings and contraptions and stuff. So, yeah, it's. I'm not going to say it's game of the year or anything, but it's a great little game, like really well made, and it got a really good message to it as well.
Good, Paul. What do you think?
I want to know two things about this game.
First
of all, is he a lumberjack and he's okay? Does he sleep all night and does he work all day?
He certainly works all day. It does get a lot done.
And is there any cross-dressing involved?
No.
Oh,
no, there is no.
So you wasted opportunity.
There is no customization in how your little bear looks. No, you can upgrade your weapon. So when you smash things, you recycle the debris and upgrade your weapon. So then you can smash bigger things, and that's how you take on the kind of bigger, if you like, boss battles in inverted commas. But they're not really boss battles. But yeah.
Okay. And just because James isn't here, can you fall in love?
With the environment, yes. Not with.
I
not
see
with
what
each
you
other.
did there.
Yes, that's
Very
right.
good, Dan.
That's right.
Very good.
Excellent.
Thank you, Dan. My final game is, as Paul said, he does a certain type of game. I seem to be given sort of mediocre sim games as my thing. I've done a lot of sim games this month, but one of the ones I've done is, it's the reviews there, is Autobahn Police Sim 3. The Autobahn Police series, I think it started in 2015. I think it's the first time this has come to console. It's the third one in the franchise. I don't think you need to do the other two. Series kicked in. I like it. It's asked me about my series kicked in and gone, let me tell you about Autobahn. But yeah, the series is basically, the idea is you are a policeman, a rookie who's come back from injury after some terrible street road racing investigation that went wrong, and you basically go out and patrol on the Autobahn, and you have many tasks to do. You might have to go out and find a red car with a number plate, stop someone with a red car, and then you stop them and you look at their ID and see if it all checks out. If they don't, you arrest them. There might be a sort of car chase. There might be there's sometimes accidents that you go to, and you have to sort of photograph the accident, make sure, determine what happened. So you do photographs, you interview people, you put together a little sketch thing by dragging things in the right places. And it's like an open world. You're either in the car or you're walking around the station chatting to your friends, asking about certain things. There's a story going on. I mean, this all sounds great, doesn't it? But it isn't. It's. I don't want to be. I'm never really unkind, but it's just physics-wise, it's terrible. Cars bounce around. Things don't quite. The characterization, they look like Xbox 360. I think that's being kind. Yeah, it's ropey. I think it's so ambitious because there's so much to do that what they should have done is just maybe concentrate on one or two things and get that right. But it is this type of. It's very familiar to me. It's that kind of sim game that comes over because those games sell a lot of money. And when I did the airport sim games, they came to Xbox and they were terrible, but they would sell like hotcakes. People love the idea of being, a police person doing police reports and doing cases and stuff like that, and being in a sense that it's, I've done a lumberjack one this month. I think I've done something else. I can't remember, but yeah, people love the sim worlds, but this isn't a good one. It's just a bit ropey. Yeah. So there you go.
Mm.
Don't.
I have a question.
Might give that one a miss. I think.
Give it a miss. Give it a miss. Good. Let's talk about something more positive.
Well, can I
Darren.
ask you a
Oh yeah,
question
go on. You
before we
can.
move on?
Yeah.
Just going to ask. So you obviously don't stop people for speeding because it's the Autobahn. So do you think they can drive faster in Autobahn Police Sim 3 or Forza Horizon Hot Wheels?
I think I
Let
think.
me have a think.
Yeah. I mean, you can drive fast. You'll just be if you hit a car. One car I hit suddenly just flew up in the air.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Was that in Forza? Was it me?
It was
When
you,
crashed
yeah.
into me?
Good. Right, Darren, let's talk about you've done an exciting thing in the last week or so, haven't you? What have you been doing?
Yeah, so for those regular listeners of the podcast, you'll remember that I jumped on a call around the new Saints Row game, and I was invited to spend some hands-on time with it down in London last week. So my impressions are live on the site now. Embargo's lifted, which is good, so we're behaving ourselves. And yeah, you've come to no surprise that I'm looking forward to Saints Row, as I've said before, and it's definitely split opinion amongst the team. I think you're possibly wavering, Gareth. I know Paul's not interested, so
Yeah, I am waving. I've read your great report today, and I've read a couple other ones. Yeah, I'm kind of tempted a little bit now. Yeah, sorry, Dan. Tell us about.
I think it's definitely worth a look. So, yeah, we got to play quite a chunk of the start of the game. So there's a couple of bits I can't talk about. However, there's a handful of missions that start off with introducing you to the 4 characters. So Saints Row, this is a reboot of the series, and it follows the story of 4 kind of friends who are struggling to make their rent and end up forming a criminal gang and trying to take over the city of Santo Eliso, essentially. That's it in a nutshell. And I got to play the first few missions that kind of lead you up to where they start the genesis of that gang, and they find their base and start to set up their operations and stuff. So you play as the boss, so like the leader of the gang. And at the start, you're working for a security company, and I think one of your friends is working for one of the rival gangs, the Los Panteros. And they all come to the conclusion that actually, while we're working for the people, let's work for ourselves and let's take over the city. So the missions are pretty out there, as you'd imagine. So one mission, you can be having a bit of a shootout with just some rival gangs, bit of a car chase, and it all seems pretty standard. There'll be others where you're jumping over from car to car, hanging onto the side of like hover jets and doing all sorts of ridiculous stunts. So it's over the top, as you'd expect from Saints Row, but it's really good fun. And I was really struck with how good the chemistry is between the 4 of them. So in the single missions where they go off on their own, they're not quite as enjoyable as when they're all together. So I'm really looking forward to playing more of the game when you're a unit. And it's not just the main campaigns. There's loads that you can do in the city. You can do all sorts of like side hustles and stuff. So there's something called choplifting, which I wrote about, which is really good fun, which you can get a helicopter with a giant magnet attached, and then you have to go and retrieve certain items and then take it back to base, and then you get paid off by whoever's hired you. You can go and hunt down some wanted criminals and collect bounties. You can go and just rummage through the rubbish and find drug shipments and make money that way. Random stuff will happen just organically in the environment. So you might walk across like a security truck that's just parked outside somewhere, and you can decide to rob it and then try and escape from the police. There's loads and loads to do, and it slowly opens up as you go. And then when you set up your base, something called the war table comes into play. And this is a map of the city, and you've got certain innocent looking fronts for criminal activities. And as you take over that area of the city, you can play different game modes, if you like. So ones like mayhem, you just have to cause loads of carnage and cause as much damage money-wise as possible. There's also the insurance fraud, which is from the old games, so that makes a return as well. Where you just throw yourself in front of cars, basically. So there's loads to do. I thought it was really good. My main concern, I think I said this last time, is it doesn't look amazing. It looks fine, but it doesn't look like a Series X or a PS5 game. So I'd be interested to see if that changes when it releases, because it's due to release in about a month, I think.
Were you playing it on the Series X?
It was being ran through a PC.
Right. Okay.
So I was playing it through with an Xbox controller, but it was being ran through a PC. So I'm hoping that the final finished polished products will look a bit sharper, because some of the in-engine cutscenes, it looks as if the Xbox One could run them quite comfortably,
right.
Which is just makes it a little bit less special for me.
Yeah. Well, that sounds good, Darren. I'm intrigued.
I think if they, as I said last time, if they can keep the momentum going and tell a really gripping story and really get the characters right, and that chemistry goes all the way through, then I think it'll be a really good game. Because it's also you can also play the campaign co-op, so drop in, drop out co-op as well. So we had a little bit of a go with each other of that, just at the end of the few hours session. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, good. Now, where were you? You were in Greenwich, wasn't you? Just down the road.
Yeah.
Down the road from me. Whereabouts in Greenwich were you?
The Old Refinery, I think it was called.
I know the Old Refinery. Yeah.
Nice. So it's really cool little venue. Really cool. Just round the corner from the DLR station.
Yeah. Little play. Nice little bar there.
Yeah,
good.
It was lovely. Yeah, really nice.
Trust you to know places by the bar.
Paul, any questions from you?
No.
He's covered it. He's covered it very well.
I don't have to play it, do I?
No, you don't have to play it. No.
Good. That's all I need to know then. It doesn't look like my thing. I'm not a fan of GTA. I'm not a fan of Saints Row. It's not. It just doesn't shout to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm sure for those of you who like that kind of thing, you'll enjoy it. But nah. I think I can take it or leave it.
Good. Thanks, Paul.
You've probably leave it.
Dan on that.
But anyway, sorry.
We'll leave with Darren's
I don't mean to relieve myself on your shit. Sorry, Darren. It sounds amazing. I can't wait to play it. Just put that in. Put that in, Gareth. It'll be fine.
You'll enjoy it more than Resident Evil, Paul. I promise you.
It's unlikely, mate.
Now, there isn't much news at the moment. It's a couple of things, but we'll just do one and then we're going to do a quiz.
Hooray!
Interesting that Ubisoft has delayed Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, which I forgot about completely. I forgot that was even coming out.
It's funny, because I was only thinking about this the other day, because we were in the cinema watching Thor and there was a trailer for the film. It's coming out at the end of this year, and I thought, oh yeah, we saw it was at the end of last year. We saw like a little trailer, and it was supposed to be the end of 2022. And I thought, I haven't heard anything for a while, and to make the most of it, they should really release it at the same time as the film, or a few weeks before, as normally happens. But I wonder if the film will still release on time. That's my question.
I mean, it's not. I don't think anyone's expected that to come out. I don't think anyone forgot about it as well, I think.
True.
And it's going to be after April next year, I think. I mean, they're strange at the moment, because they've had this kind of like, it's the first year when they've had hardly anything come out, but also they've got a lot of trouble internally, with all sorts of shenanigans going on in their offices and what's happened. But I think they've just announced in the last hour 4 of their games. I think it was Splinter Cell VR, not the remake, whatever it was, that's been cancelled. Another game's been, and 2 unannounced projects have been cancelled. So they've cancelled 4 games. Wow. So I think there's something going on there. So I think they're going to get bought out by someone too, like Microsoft or someone. I think that's, and they're having a sort of conference in September, aren't they? Which they maybe announce the Assassin's Creed stuff and
Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Yeah. Oh God.
That's never coming. Never.
If I get robbed of that now, after waiting so long, I will not be happy.
No. Should we do a quiz?
Yeah,
let's do a quiz.
So it's the same quiz as we've done before the last couple of weeks. It's a rollover, so basically it's 15 questions. You ask one question. If both of you get it wrong, you have one guess each. You get the next question will be worth 2 points, and so on and so forth.
Excellent.
Paul,
can I use my laptop?
No.
No.
Paul, what's your buzzer noise?
My buzzer is meow.
Good. Darren, what's yours?
And mine is Buzz.
Who won this last time between when you two were on?
It was Darren, actually.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, no
That's
pressure.
I think we're one each, aren't we now?
I think we are.
Were you on the week when I won? Or was that Dobbo? I can't remember.
I think that might have been Dobbo.
Yeah.
I was on when James won, when we were on.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah. These are a bit easier, I think. So let's go from there.
Well, you would say that when you've got the answer.
Okay, question 1. The Atari 260... this might be something already. The Atari 2600 was released in the United States in which year?
Meow.
Paul?
Was it 78?
No. Darren, you've got to guess.
You could be a bit more vehement with your nose, I think, Darren.
79.
No. It was 77. 1977.
I knew it was around that time because we had one.
So we got a rollover straight away.
Hooray!
This is good. 2 points to the next question. Let's go into the next question. What was the name of the first expansion pack to be released for World of Warcraft?
Buzz.
Darren?
Burning Crusade.
It was. Well done, Darren. 2 points.
That's the last time I played that game as well.
Well done, Darren. I've never played World of Warcraft in my entire life.
Oh.
That was completely unfair. Anyway, huge inquiry after this.
Well, I wasn't around when the Atari was released, so...
Are you saying I'm old?
There's a question for you, Paul, in this, so if you don't get it right, it'd be embarrassing. Okay, right. Yeah.
Right.
Question 3 for 1 point. Which video game company's franchises include Mortal Kombat, Spy Hunter?
Yes.
That was Darren.
Konami?
No.
No.
Oh.
Paul?
I'm confused that way.
I'm going to say... Can I have the rest of the question?
Which video game company's franchises included Mortal Kombat, Spy Hunter, and Rampage?
Is it Midway?
It is, Paul. Well done. 1 point for Paul. Great.
Hey.
Next questions for 1 point. Question 4. Desmond Miles is a major character from which video game series?
Meow.
Paul.
Assassin's Creed.
It is, Paul. 2 points. 2-2. This is good. Great. For 1 point for question 5. I don't think you two have ever got more than one question right. Question 5. Which game features the nameless king as a boss character?
Oh, meow.
Paul.
Dark Souls 3.
Correct, Paul. I told you there's a question for you. There you go. And you got the
rest of the questions are for you now, Daz.
Oh, good.
Good. 3-2. This is it. Good. Question 6, and it's for 1 point. What aristocratic title does Tomb Raider's Lara Croft possess?
Meow.
Paul.
She's Lady Lara Croft.
No.
She bloody is.
No.
Is this Gareth making up the facts again?
No. I checked this one as well.
Can I have the question again, please, Gareth?
Which I can never say it. Aristocratic title does Tomb Raider's Lara Croft possess?
Is it? I don't know. Duchess.
No, it's Countess.
Oh, Countess. I was trying to think because I know her parents were Lord and Lady, but.
Question 7 for 2 points. It's 3-2. This is good. I like this.
Oh, here we go. Nip and tuck.
In what game will you likely find thugs, floaters, rams, and suiciders?
Meow.
Paul.
Is it Dying Light?
No.
Is it Back for Blood?
No, it's Dead Island. You're both in the right area.
I knew it was a toss-up between the two.
Unlucky. That was good. It's just 3 points.
Oh.
What game did Steven Spielberg have a hand in the development on? And I'm going to say a big hand in the development on this time.
Just one hand.
Yeah,
Doesn't
quite
use
a lot
both.
of hands.
Meow.
Paul?
Was it Fable?
No.
I feel like I've heard this somewhere, but I have no idea. So I will just say Anthem.
No. It's the 1999 game Medal of Honor. Do you remember that one?
Oh,
I do remember
the
that
big
because it was saving
Private Ryan.
wasn't
Yeah,
it?
they did that. Yeah.
Makes sense.
4 points. Oh, this is good. Question number 9. Who was the first person to perfect the game Pac-Man in 1999?
Was he played by Peter Dinklage in the film Pixels?
I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. Dave.
No.
Yeah, was it Dave?
No, Darren. What have you got?
John.
It's Billy Mitchell. I thought you two might have known this. Have you ever seen the documentary, the brilliant documentary about this, about the whole Pac-Man? I think it's great. You should watch it.
I've seen Pixel with Adam Sandler.
Yeah, he was based on that character.
Oh, no,
there you go.
That was dreadful.
What are we on now? I can't remember. It's
we're on about 11 million points.
5, I think.
5, you're right. Yeah, for question 10. Oh, God. What game holds the record for the longest cutscene?
Buzz.
Meow.
Darren.
Oh, is it Metal Gear Solid 5?
No.
Ugh.
Meow, meow, meow,
Paul.
meow. Is it Metal Gear Solid 4?
It is, Paul.
Oh.
Yes, your turn. As soon as he was going Metal Gear, I was going, no, don't say it, Darren.
It's 71 minutes. That's the longest cutscene. So it's 8-2. Now, can Darren still do this? No, he can't.
No, he can't. You've lost, Darren.
Can't, Darren, but this is for pride. This is for pride, though. It's 4 more. It's 5 more questions. Okay, let me do this. If you get 5 in a row, Darren,
you still lose.
What is the game with the most recorded dialogue? The record for that.
It sounds like one you'd have reviewed.
Buzz.
Darren.
Is it Disco Elysium?
No.
That's the one I was thinking of, because I remember you rattling on about how it had all this dialogue and you could have 20 million different conversations. Is it Pac-Man?
No. Paul, you've lost your heart in it now, haven't you? Now you know you've won.
I don't care anymore. Yeah. I'm just resting on my laurels.
It's Fallout New Vegas.
Really?
Yeah. Good. Next question. Go for 2 points. What game holds a record for most swearing?
Meow.
Paul.
Is it Duke Nukem Forever?
No.
Is it Grand Theft Auto 5?
No. Good to say. It's Scarface, The World Is Yours. Do you remember that on the Xbox 360?
Oh, I do, on the old PS2, yeah.
Yeah, 2006. And it used the F word 5,688 times.
Goodness.
Which is amazing.
Wow, way.
Yeah. For 3 points, question 13. Who voiced the big bad in Portal 2?
Buzz.
Darren.
Stephen Merchant.
That is correct. Well done, Darren.
Well done, Darren. Another game I've not played. Well done.
Oh, you need to play the Portal games. They're brilliant.
Good.
The
Darren,
cake is a lie. That's all I know.
If you get 2 more games here, you could be. It's very close. It looks good. It's
is.
respectable. Question 14. Comedians Andy Richter and Conan O'Brien voiced dialogue for what video game?
I feel like I know this one. What was it? I could see it in my head and I can't think of the name of it. So I'll just say meow.
Paul?
Was it Street Fighter 2?
No.
I don't know, so I'll say The Quarry.
No. It was Halo 4.
Oh.
That wasn't what I thought it was then.
They recorded the dialogue, and if you go up to two of them, sort of like, God, you can hear them chatting for a bit, and that's when they recorded. So it's like when you move closer to them. For 2 points, the last question. The longest gaming session is about 138 hours in 2015 by Carrie Swedek. What was the game she broke the record on? Darren.
Is it Minecraft?
No.
Meow.
Paul.
Was it League of Legends?
No, these are both good guesses. The mad thing is Just Dance.
What? 138 hours of Just Dance?
Which makes it even worse. Even if you're sitting down with something, but Just Dance, 138 hours. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Wow.
That poor person.
Paul, well done. You've won 8-5.
Thank you, Gareth.
Really
well done, Paul.
Really
Thanks,
good.
Daz. You're the best. I do feel like the quizmaster was somewhat biased in your favour, but we'll let it slide for today.
He had a lovely, easy Dark Souls 3 question.
Well,
absolutely. I gave you the Metal Gear question, really, Paul. So
you did. Yeah, absolutely. I'm quite happy to pick up your crumbs, Dan.
What are we looking forward to next week, you two? Darren, what are you looking forward
to? Not got a lot going on really next week. But as you were talking about Stray earlier, Ryan, I was watching him play a bit of it last night, so I'm hoping to get an evening. It's one of those games where you can sit down and hopefully do it in an evening. So that's my plan next week.
Paul, what about you?
Well, when it was Amazon Prime Day just recently, I may have bought the Lego Technic Fast and Furious Dodge Charger. So I've got something like 5,000 pieces of building joy ahead of me. So I've not opened it yet. I'm kind of just looking at the box going, soon, my precious. So yes, I'm quite looking forward to that. I also bought the lighting kit for it as well, which looks like you need a degree from some kind of rocket science university to put in. So let me pray for me as I open the boxes.
Wow. I think I'm going to play the big Xbox release this week as Dusk Falls, which is a kind of like a story-based adventure. It's a big old download, 50 gigs.
That's got you all over it.
But I played the first couple of minutes of it, and I think maybe it might be because I was not feeling, but it's because it uses this whole technique of almost like stop motion. So it's not that fluid gameplay. It's like a animation that suddenly, and they would move a little bit. But it's making me feel a bit sick. So I'm going to try again and see if it does it again. I don't know why it was making me feel. I think of the motion of it, but I'm going to give it another go. If it makes me feel sick again, I won't play anymore, as it's free on Game Pass. But it's 50 gigs on the download, which is quite a shock. But I think it's a Series X game. It looks great. But yeah, it's making me feel a bit sick. But I'm going to have another go at that. If it's made you feel sick, please write in.
Answers on a postcard.
Yeah. Now, where can we find you, chaps, if we need to talk to you? Darren, where can we find you?
So I'm on Twitter, a nice hybrid of gaming and political opinions. My handle is @27Darren.
Good. And Paul, where can we find you?
I just want to correct that. There's very little gaming in Darren's Twitter feed. It's all about the politics. And I didn't get to ask him what he thought about the first of the last two left in the Conservative leadership race. But anyway,
Would you like to lose a toe or a finger? That's
oh.
the choice you've got.
That's nice, isn't it? That sounds like a threat to me. Take the boy out of Liverpool. Sorry, I mean, we got completely derailed there, Gareth. I do apologise. You can find me on Twitter, and my handle is at XboxHubPaul.
Good. Great, and you can find me on GB Bray on Twitter and Twitch. But for now, gentlemen, thank you so much, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
You've been listening to the official podcast of TheXboxHub.com. You'll be able to find all the notes of the show at www.thexboxhub.com/podcast. You can also check out our social feeds on Instagram and Twitter at The Xbox Hub, and search for The Xbox Hub on Facebook.